ब्रज जन पालन सुरकुल नाशन नंद गोधन रखवाला नंद गोधन रखवाला गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर सुंदर नंद गोपाला सुंदर नंद गोपाला यमुना तट चर गोपी बस्तर हर रास रसिक कृपा मोया रास रसिक कृपा मोया श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर भक्ति विनोद आश्रया भक्ति विनोद आश्रया यशोमती नंदन ब्रज बरुनागर गोकुल रंजन कान्हा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय महाप्रभु जय महाप्रभु जय महाप्रभु जय महाप्रभु जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय श्री प्रभुपाद निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्रशात शिष्य मातृदायिंग स्वामी अभाय चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय नित्य लीला परम विष्णु शिष्य मातृदायिंग स्वामी श्रील भक्ति स्थान सरस्वती गुरु महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कच वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मयपुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा देवी मुनमय की जय। श्री माती तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यागी की जय। दिव्यांग्रेज भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON गुरु वृंद की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestahaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaham Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sundabadi Paschatyarisha Tarine Pracharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Dana Balabha Giribara Thade. Gopi Dana Balabha Giribara Thade. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tera Banachade. Yamuna Tera Banachade. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Sri Radhe. Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Gaur Hare Bo. Nitai Gaura Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Gaur Hare Bo. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Vartman Guru Vrinda Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Agyanti Mirandasya Ginandana Shalakaya Chakshuran Meditam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Hayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shirupam Sagrajatam Sahaganam Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Garange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Padai Mahatprema Puro Vibhur Nirmaya Kshatya Namusha Purusha Bhungte Gunan Sudasa Sudasatmaka Evan Krishishta Magaman Vacham Sime. Hare Krishna. So it's my great pleasure to be at the ISV, which, as probably all of you know, stands for Individual, Spontaneous and Volunteer Devotional Service. And see wonderful devotees here. It's a special place, and so every time I come here, I meet very special people. Of course, Navina Nirada Prabhu, he is my long friend and well-wisher, whom we know each other for decades. And I was very surprised this time, because I'm learning harmonium from Govinda Prabhu, because he's running his YouTube channel, and he's very expert. So he's my harmonium guru. But this is first time I see him in person. Only met him before on the internet. So I owe him Guru Dakshina. Thank you. He's, in my estimation, he's the best harmonium teacher on the planet. Huh? He's teaching everyone here? Oh, supplying harmoniums as well, okay. And best harmonium supplier as well. Okay, so I suppose we'll have a few more devotees coming later on, right? Many are recovering from the hard working week. And we can, I was told that we can read any verse from Bhagavatam. So if I can have first canto, and we'll read the last verse of the chapter 17. And chapter 17 is entitled Punishment and Reward of Kali. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Canto 1, Chapter 17, Punishment and Reward of Kali, text 45. Idham bhutanu bhavayam. Idham bhutanu bhavayam. Abhimanyu suto nripa. Abhimanyu suto nripa. Yasya palayata kshonim. Yasya palayata kshonim. Yuyam satraya dikshitaha. Yuyam satraya dikshitaha. Idham bhutano bhavayam. Abhimanyu suto nripa. Yasya palayata kshonim. Yuyam satraya dikshitaha. Hare Krishna. Itam bhutano bhavayam. Abhimanyu suto nripa. Yam satraya dikshitaha. Idam bhutana bhavayam. Abhimanyu suto nripa. Takshanim. Dikshitaha. Idam bhutana bhavayam. Abhimanyu suto nripa. Takshanim. Dikshitaha. Itam bhutana bhavayam. Abhimanyu suto nripa. Itam palayata kshonim. Synonyms: Idham bhuta. Being thus, Anubhavaha, experience, Ayam, of this, Abhimanyu Sutta, the son of Abhimanyu, Nripaha, the king, Yasya, whose, Palayataha, on account of his ruling, Shaunim, on the earth, Yuyam, you all, Satraya, in performing sacrifices, Dikshitaha, initiated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, is so experienced that by dint of his expert administration and patronage, it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice as this. Purport. The Brahmanas and the Sannyasis are expert in the spiritual advancement of the society, whereas the Kshatriyas or the administrators are expert in the material peace and prosperity of human society. Both of them are the pillars of all happiness, and therefore they are meant for full cooperation for common welfare. Maharaj Parikshit was experienced enough to drive away Kali from his field of activities and thereby make the state receptive to spiritual enlightenment. If the common people are not receptive, it is very difficult to impress upon them the necessity of spiritual enlightenment. Austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, the basic principles of religion, prepare the ground for the reception of advancement in spiritual knowledge. And Maharaj Parikshit made this favorable condition possible. Thus, the rishis of Naimisharanya were able to perform the sacrifices for 1,000 years. In other words, without state support, no doctrines or philosophy or religious principles can progressively advance. There should be complete cooperation between the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas for the common good. Even up to Maharaj Ashok, the same spirit was prevailing. Lord Buddha was sufficiently supported by King Ashoka, and thus his particular cult of knowledge was spread all over the world. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the first canto, 17th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Punishment and Reward of Kali. Hare Krishna. Idham bhutano bhavayam abhimanyo suto nripaha yasya palayata kshaunim yuyam satraya dikshitaha. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, is so experienced that by dint of his expert administration and patronage, it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice such as this. So this is the concluding verse spoken by Shukadeva Goswami, related to the story of punishment and reward of Kali. And he glorifies Maharaj Parikshit as very expert administrator and patron, and he made great sacrifice possible under his care and guidance. And Srila Prabhupada explains very important points in the purport. Whenever we discuss Bhagavatam, there are always 3 stages. right? Because there are 3 aspects of bhakti. What are the 3 aspects of bhakti? Yes, sambandha, abhidheya, and prayojana. And so, sambandha means theory, abhidheya means practice, and prayojana means result. So, our theory, and that's why Srila Prabhupada was saying that Krishna consciousness is scientific, because you take science, it is based on these 3 things only, right? They have hypothesis, experiment, and result. So theory, practice, and result. So what's our theory? Bhagavan Sambandha, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, right? And we're His servants. And the perfection of life can be achieved through the process of devotional service. That's theory, right? 3 aspects of Sambandha. Our position, God's position, and the relationship between us. And bhakti, abhidheya. The process of devotional service is practice. And so anyone can try. That's why it's scientific. You don't have to believe. Srila Prabhupada was saying, we don't have to believe in anything. Because everything you can test and try. And so, if you practice Krishna consciousness, all the benefits described in Scripture become available. Of course, not equally available to everyone, in the same way as America is described as the country of equal opportunities, right? But then not everyone gets the same benefit, because it also depends on how much people take advantage of the opportunities available. So in the same way, ye yathamam prapadyante tam stataya bhajamyaham mama vartmana vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. This is one of the most important verses in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone knows the translation of this verse? Anyone? Okay. Anyone wants to tell us the translation?
As one surrenders into me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha.
Of Pritha, yes. So yes, Krishna is rewarding everyone according to their level of surrender. And everyone follows Krishna's path means Krishna sets the system which is followed by everybody. And so, yes, the end result is developing our relationship with Krishna, developing our appreciation, love for Him in different aspects. Yes?
Maharaj, I had a question. Actually, yesterday I was talking to my CEO. He is actually Gujarati Vaishnav, and I'm slowly trying to tell him, you should read Srimad Bhagavatam. So now he's more interested in reading Srimad Bhagavatam because he has read so many other nonsensical literature, and he wants to ridicule or counter it. He says, I can talk for 3 days also. So he's that. And yesterday we got into a discussion, and he revealed that at home he does basic puja or some arti agarbatti for Krishna. But actually he revealed that religion is just a hope for humanity. So that's why it's a feel-good thing. That's why people do it. Actually, there is no God. So actually, he revealed his mind. He was actually atheist. And he had a long discussion. I was trying to say it's an inner journey. It's subtle, more subtle. it has to be experienced. He wants to intellectualize everything. So I was just wondering, I'm disturbed also, and I was thinking I shouldn't have engaged in this conversation because, pratikula sevarjanam. So in some way I was thinking either I should have cut his tongue or I should have not had the discussion only. But then I was thinking, what would be his destination? He's on a very peripheral manner. He's doing some basic arti, etc. for Krishna because since childhood I've been taught. But mentally he's actually revolting against Krishna. So what is the destination of such souls?
Yeah, very interesting. I was in Tirupati a few months back, and president of Tirupati temple, Revati Ramana Prabhu, is my good friend. And so he said he had opportunity, because he has big temple, so he's meeting with different influential people in the area. And so he said he had the opportunity to meet with the chief executive officer in charge of Balaji services, CEO of Balaji temple. And he said they had this private conversation, and then this man, this CEO, he is asking him, can you answer one question? Is Balaji there? And Revati Ramaprabhu said, have no doubts, Balaji is real person. And the man said, oh, okay, thank you. What can you do? This is Kali Yuga. And this actually shows that without devotee association, even the people who are most fortunate, like that, like the case you've described, and this case, directly connected to the Lord and having opportunity to serve the Lord, without devotee association, no one can understand anything. Yeah. Because why do we glorify spiritual master? Om agyanti mirandasya gyananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yana tasmai shri gurave namaha. Because without the mercy of the spiritual master, we are blind. We can't see anything. And so it's very hard to say what is the destination of someone who is serving the Lord but not believing in Him. But definitely, if anyone does any kind of service, he gets benefit. He will get the benefit from that. And so definitely he will be given an opportunity in his future to become devotee. But such people, because they are very fortunate, if devotees will show their mercy upon them and help them to realize the Lord, they will not have to wait for future lives or anything like that. So I think, rather than feeling disturbed, how come that these people, they're serving the Lord, but they still don't believe in Him, we should help them to understand. Actually, devotees should try to help everybody, and especially those people who are already there in terms of their culture. Because, one of the greatest advantages, and it's a very interesting point that Srila Prabhupada was often telling, that in India, everyone is Krishna conscious. It just takes little effort to uncover it, right? And when we hear this, that's a very bewildering statement, right? Because there are so many people in India, like 130 million, 1 billion, 300 million, something like that. Huh? Yeah, 1.3 billion people. And so, I mean, all kinds of people are there. I mean, we have couple hundred million Vaishnavas, rough estimation, right, of all these masses of people, which is quite substantial, but still not all 1.3 billion, just a couple of 100 million, believing, well, we can say, yeah, Krishna conscious, because they follow one of the 4 authorized sampradayas. But then so many people believe in Durga, Shiva, Ganesh, Murugan, you name it, everyone. And there are Christians, there are Buddhists, there are Muslims, there are even Jews in India, and there are plenty of atheists also. So how do we understand this very mysterious statement of Srila Prabhupada, that in India, intrinsically everyone is Krishna conscious? It's very simple, because Krishna consciousness, he said, will conquer the whole world by 2 things: education and culture. And so if education is theory, then what is culture? It's application. It's actually practice. And if you think about it, no matter who believes in what in India and what they do, culture is the same. And it's actually, yeah, I mean, I've been to India so many times, and I don't actually remember seeing any fighting in India, and even verbal fighting, that people get over it very quickly somehow, and the level of tolerance is just beyond, any wild imagination. And mostly people are very respectful to anyone who is senior, anyone who is practicing anything spiritual like that. So culture is very deeply ingrained in people. And so that's why Srila Prabhupada said, Indians are very close to Krishna, right? But the problem is that they turn their face away from Krishna. They look in the other direction. They look in the direction of Western countries. But Western people are very far from Krishna, but they are facing Krishna. So, and what it meant that everyone in India, they have the culture of Krishna consciousness. But the problem is that they do not appreciate that, and they're ready to give it up. Whereas, Western people, with very few exceptions, they hardly have much culture. And they're very frustrated, of course, because if you don't have culture, if you don't follow basic rules in life, there will be tons of problems, especially mental problems. There are so many mentally disturbed people in the Western countries. And that's why it's important for us to understand that if people have culture, it's actually much more valuable than having knowledge. Because if someone has culture, you give knowledge, that person becomes very cultured devotee, right? But if someone doesn't have culture and just have theoretical knowledge, it takes very, very long time for one to actually advance and learn to practice properly. And dharma, right? Satyadaya tapashuchi. This is what this chapter has been elaborating. And this is culture. This is Vedic culture. This is Vaishnava culture. And so you can see, in India, most of the people, they follow all this very nicely. And Western world gave it up long time ago. So that's the difference. And so, yes, with anyone who follows culture, with anyone who has culture, we should understand that these people are the best candidates for becoming Krishna conscious, and even if they happen not to believe in Krishna, but based on their culture, they are respectful and they can accept it if it is explained to them properly.
Maharaj, I have one more follow-up question and doubt actually. So he said, I will read it. I will read Srimad Bhagavatam. I said it costs $250. He said, I'll give it, no problem. But after the conversation, I realized that he is so offenseful and envious of the Lord that he is actually not suitable for reading Srimad Bhagavatam. I think first he should read some small books instead of reading, because Srimad Bhagavatam is extremely confidential. Like Bhagavad Gita also, Lord says, you should not tell this to an envious person. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for Paramhams or like Vaishnavas, like who can actually appreciate it. Because if he'll read, he will directly ridicule Prabhupada's statements or the Vedic truths. And he actually also said, what is this Veda? This is nonsense. In Mahabharata there was no maths, etc. and stuff like that. So I think instead of giving such an envious person such a confidential literature which is actually prohibited in Bhagavatam itself, we should give them some basic knowledge, like some basic simple books first. See, what is your opinion, Maharaj?
Yes, Bhagavatam is very confidential, but we are fortunate because Srila Prabhupada is present through his purports, and by Prabhupada's power of his association through his purports, anyone can realize the true meaning of Bhagavatam. And actually, everyone has problems, but most people don't tell about their problems. At least this man is honest enough, he's truthful to actually tell what he really thinks, right? Many people just pretend that actually this is culture, right? That be truthful. Okay, I don't believe in Krishna, just tell it. I mean, very funny episode is described in Prabhupada Lilamrita, when Srila Prabhupada challenged his leading disciples. He said, how much are you convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Lord? Are you convinced? And he was looking straight at them, and they were like, couldn't even look at Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, I am convinced. And because I am convinced, I am doing what I am doing. You should become convinced. So, even practicing devotees, if you dig really deep inside how strong is their conviction, Dridavrata, that yes, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Yes, he is a real person, I have a relationship with him. There are cases when people don't have that conviction, and that's why they give up. If someone has that conviction, how they can give up? It's not possible, right? But at least someone is truthful. And it's very important for us to anyone wants to know one of the biggest secrets of Srila Prabhupada's success? How did he manage to make so many people follow the process of Krishna consciousness? Prasadam? One thing, but we're talking about mindset or mentality which is not so well understood. I mean, external things we know, but the mindset, that's very important. Navina Nirada Prabhu. Competition.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. He saw the potential in everybody.
Great.
He saw everybody not as they were present in front of him, but he saw everybody at their fullest capacity. So he saw them as what they can become if they take up the process of Krishna consciousness. So that's one thing. Another thing, he himself was, as you've mentioned, fully convinced and vibrant in Krishna consciousness. So anyone who came in touch with him became infected by his contagious Krishna consciousness, so they automatically were just pulled up, drawn up to the higher platform.
Yeah, this is the best answer I heard in many years. I think he deserved big round of applause. Yeah, this is exactly to the point what was Srila Prabhupada's, one of the greatest Srila Prabhupada's secrets of success, because instead of seeing the conditioned soul with all the problems, he saw the potential, he saw the spirit, and he knew how to fan that spark. And this is so important for us. That's why Srila Prabhupada explains that the difference between materialistic person and devotee is very simple. Materialistic people are like flies. They only look for dirty things, right? And devotees are like, bees. They go for nectar. And so that's really important. And I mean, it's explained in many places. The same thing Narad Muni explains, right? In the very beginning of Bhagavatam, that he is comparing devotees and materialistic people with two types of birds, right? Whom he compares materialists with? Crows. And devotees? Swans, yeah. Crows, what's their pilgrimage place? Yeah, garbage dump, yeah, that's their tirtha. And where do these swans go? Yeah, clear. If you see swans anywhere, you know it's clear water, right? Because swans, they don't live in contaminated waters at all. Ducks, geese, no problem. They can live anywhere. But swans, it's below their dignity. They will only go for clear water. Yes.
So I have a question in this regard, Maharaj. There are different types of leadership, and so one is just encouraging and seeing the good and inspiring and speaking nice words. And another type is to point out the room for improvement or the mistakes or making the correction. So the first one is very popular and highly appreciated. And the second one, not so much. And the balance between the two is a very difficult art, and how much of each one should administer. So what has, according to your realization and understanding, what has proven to be most effective? Because we see even in our own movement, you have some who are just happy, smiling sadhus, and they're patting everybody on the head. And you have others who are a little more strong in their talk and also in their direction, how they deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
So is it an individual thing that people just have to find their own style and their own persona, or is there some sort of a formula of how to find the proper balance?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Prabhupada said that sadhu should be soft as rose and strong as thunderbolt. And when sadhu should be soft as a rose and when he should be strong as thunderbolt, that is really depending on how much spiritual intelligence Krishna is giving that person. And so, there is time for everything. And so, if someone becomes soft when it's not appropriate, or if someone becomes hard when it's not appropriate, in both cases one misses the boat and does not achieve the purpose. So that's why we can see Srila Prabhupada was soft and hard, and we can see that the most powerful leaders in our society are also soft and hard, depending on circumstance. And mostly, you can see most successful spiritual leaders. And it's not that sometimes we think, he is appreciated just because of some, unknown reason. No, that certain sadhus are highly appreciated because Krishna, from within the hearts of the people, is telling them he is real sadhu, because he is displaying the qualities of the sadhu. And what are the qualities of devotee who is very dear to Krishna? That's very clear, explained in Bhagavad Gita. There are no secrets there. Adveshta sarabhutanam maitra karunevacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukakshami santushta satatam yogi, etc. All these qualities are explained, and actually this list is very scientific, because the very first three qualities, Adveshta sarabhutanam, having no hatred or negativity towards anyone, Maitra, being friendly, and Karuna, being compassionate. If we think about it, it's the description of perfect relationships with, seniors, equals, and juniors on all levels. And it's very interesting because one thing I'm very strongly advocating, even though some people criticize me, is that devotees have to be highly professional. And it is based on Prabhupada's statement that devotee is someone who knows everything about something and something about everything. This is how he expressed it. Means devotee is specializing in one particular field, and he is excellent in that field. But then other fields he also knows them. So that refers to professional level. And I'm so convinced about the importance of being professional in our Krishna consciousness and in our approach to deliver Krishna consciousness to people, because what's the most outstanding characteristic of professional people as against laymen? What's the most important feature professional people are highly trained in? That is relationship, right? Because if you don't know how to relate to people, you will fail. You will fail in a business, you will fail in your career, you will fail any responsibility. You take any responsibility. If you don't know how to relate to people, that's, dead end. And if you look at the difference between Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama, what's the most important characteristic? Yes, relationships. Because Kanishta does not appreciate other people, doesn't know how to relate to other people. And Madhyam, he perfectly relates to everyone, not only to Krishna, but to devotees. He is friend with the devotees. Anyone who is a devotee, he is his friend. and compassionate towards innocent people and demoniac people. He doesn't hate them. He just understands, okay, these guys are a little strange, so I'll keep away from them. You know. But Uttamadhikari is so expert, he can even relate to demoniac people. So, yeah, the ability to maintain perfect relationships with everyone, that's a common characteristic, interestingly enough, between professional people, professionally trained people, and advanced devotees. That's why, you know, if you make professional person into devotee, pretty much he immediately becomes Madhyamadhikari. Because culture is already there. All right, thank you. Coming back to the subject, and yes, I kind of mentioned Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana just because, you know, any kind of discussion on Bhagavatam, and, you know, I'm really happy to be here for many reasons. One reason that His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu nicely trained all the devotees here to have productive discussions rather than just, you know, listening to lecture and nodding in response. You know how devotees are going into samadhi. So it's not very inspiring. And but in here, devotees are so well trained in, you know, contemplation, analysis, discussions, that it's really exciting. And so, yeah, this is how do we look at any Bhagavatam verse from Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana points, right? What's the what is the base? You know, how this is confirmed by other places in Prabhupada's books, etc. References, looking at references. Then second one is how do we apply it? Okay, that's something which happened 5,000 years ago. Now it's 21st century. How do we apply those same principles in modern day scenario? And then Prayojana, what are the results we're looking for and how do we get them? But yeah, I think we already kind of hit the third, you know, we already shifted to the third gear, which is fine. Second and third gear. Because yes, this knowledge is really meant for us to apply it rather than just knowing. And yeah, if this verse is specifically discussing the importance of cooperation or collaboration between Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, between spiritual and political leaders. And Prabhupada says this is the only way, basically speaking, right? This is the only way how any doctrine, any philosophy, any religious principles can advance. And he explains that administrators are in charge of peace and prosperity of the society, and normally they are very expert in these fields, right? No, actually not peace and prosperity. Hare Krishna. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says, yeah, peace and prosperity. Yeah, that's right. And anyone remembers what's the first purpose of ISKCON? What are we trying to achieve according to the first purpose of ISKCON? Could we look it up on the internet? Yeah. My emphasis is that first things first, right? Everybody knows about it. And it's not by chance that Srila Prabhupada made that particular first purpose of ISKCON to be the very first one. And my complaint is that we are not really focusing on it enough. And to such an extent that not even many devotees know it, not even many devotees understand its importance, and some devotees might think, oh, this is just something Prabhupada put there just so that it would look good, that we would look good. No, Srila Prabhupada never did that. Srila Prabhupada always meant what he was saying. He was never trying to be, artificial in any way. He was genuine, and that's actually the power. That was his power. That's why he influenced so many people. And you ask any Prabhupada disciple, we have two present here right now. Wonderful to see you. And they can say Prabhupada was genuine to the core, and that's why everyone was taking so seriously his association and everything he was doing. So can we enlarge that? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, let's read it together. To systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of values in life and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. Actually, there is a mistake in that. Because the original text says not all people, but all peoples, referring to, all nations of the planet. Peoples, right? People in plural, peoples. This is how, broad and how, global was his perception. And he speaks about real unity and peace in the world. That's what we are trying to achieve. And interestingly enough, one very senior devotee said, there is no even word God or Krishna in that purpose. Because Srila Prabhupada was covering everyone who was interested in anything spiritual. And some people interested in spirituality might not even believe in God. And there are plenty of such people. Like Buddhists, for example, right? Jainists. Officially, Buddhism is defined as non-theistic religion. Sometimes we're surprised, right? That people do worship, but they don't believe in God. But there are whole religions like that. They do their worship, but they don't believe in God. And it's designed like that. But still, they follow the culture. They follow Dharma. And Prabhupada wanted everyone who follows Dharma to advance. So from Adharma to Dharma, and from Dharma to Krishna consciousness. Simple. And yes, if we think that, by spiritual knowledge and spiritual techniques of spiritual life, he really meant Krishna consciousness, you can look at the second purpose and compare. Both stands for propagation. But one, propagating spiritual knowledge, and the second one is propagating consciousness of Krishna or God, as it is revealed in great scriptures of India, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada makes crystal clear distinction. Two purposes side by side. And yeah, I think it's really good to know the purposes of ISKCON. Sometimes it's good to kind of finally figure out, where am I ended up? What is ISKCON? What ISKCON really stands for. And yes, he says that the administrators, the kshatriyas, they are doing this. That's their interest. And that's also our interest. Because unity, why unity is important? What's the most recommended process of spiritual advancement in this age? What is it called? Sankirtan. Sankirtan. And what is Sankirtan means? Congregational glorification of the Lord. So San stands for congregational, and you cannot have anything congregational if there is no unity, right? So actually unity is important because it provides platform for congregational glorification of the Supreme Lord. So that's why, yes, first purpose of ISKCON is to achieve real unity. And peace in the world, of course, peace is also important. I mean, peace is not everything. Peace is just first step. Of course, the real result is bliss. But without peace, there is no bliss, right? First we need peace, and then we can go for bliss. And so that's really fundamental for us. And yes, Srila Prabhupada says that the real persons who can help with that are administrators or politicians, rulers. And unless there is cooperation between spiritual leaders and administrative leaders or political leaders, what's that? No doctrines or philosophy or religious principles can progressively advance without state support. And so, yes, this is what Srila Prabhupada says. And are we interested that Krishna consciousness becomes the most powerful spiritual force on the planet Earth? Anyone's interested in that? Haribol. So Srila Prabhupada explains the secret, what needs to be done to make that happen in this purport. So, and yeah, we can discuss that, whether it is true or not, true or false, and then what do we do next? Anyone? Prabhu? Apurva Prabhu, can we give him microphone, please? Okay, competition again. It's off. Yeah, some people are also listening online, so it's important to
congregational distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books and congregational distribution of Sri Krishna Prasadam. 3 methods that Prabhupada gave us.
Yes, holy name, books, and prasadam. Yeah, definitely. These are 3 most important kinds of techniques of spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada mentions, at least for us, our tradition, these 3 are the most powerful techniques of spiritual life. Thank you. Anyone else? What's the question? Well, 2 questions. Is it true or false that without, creating collaboration with government authorities, there is no chance of advancement, real advancement of Krishna consciousness properly? I mean, we might think we're big, right? Oh, because when Srila Prabhupada finished his pastimes in 77, we had 108 temples. And now I think we have 800, if anyone knows the statistics. Anyway, 700 or 800 temples. Which sounds good. We're growing. But I found out that there is one other spiritual group practicing Neo-Buddhism, Buddhist group, and they have 10,000 temples, and they've started much later than ISKCON. All over the world they have 10,000 temples. So just to give you a comparison, 800 in 50 odd years and 10,000 in little bit more than about 30 years perhaps, half of the time, more than 10 times the result. And these are not like small little temples, big marble temples, very impressive. You've seen any of this? Microphone?
So actually, this is one of my questions actually, that how come, is it the idea of, people can relate that, so because the whole idea is experiential. So the whole idea which they propagate is that, everything is based on your experience, but then they don't understand that, your senses are imperfect. So you cannot experience everything. So, but then people believe it. And then they're like expanding like anything. So I just wanted to understand that, is this understanding that, you can do everything on your own, or the whole idea of experiencing things. I mean, it sounds like they're expanding much more than what we are doing. So how can we actually, what I want to say is that, how can we do something like that with the philosophy we have got actually, but our philosophy is much more advanced, but then people don't want to have some faith, because at least some faith should be there, right?
Yes.
So they don't want to do that. They just want to do everything based on their experience, which is not possible.
Yes, that's a very valid point, that yes, other spiritual groups, they have huge following because their knowledge is very shallow, their principles are practically non-existent, and so it's easy for them to kind of spread. Yes, it is true, and Srila Prabhupada also made the point that, if you sell diamonds, then very few people will come to buy, right? Because not everyone has that much money. But if you sell cheap imitation, everyone will want to come and buy. So, and some devotees, on those bases, they maintain that Krishna consciousness can never grow and it should never grow, right? We should always stay small because we are diamonds, yeah? Okay, that's interesting view on things, but if you really look very deeply at this analogy, that yes, it is true, not many people can just walk into jewelry shop at any given day and buy a bunch of diamonds. But try to find at least one person on the planet who has no appreciation for diamonds, who does not understand the value of diamonds. Can you find at least one? Yeah, everybody values, everybody appreciates diamonds. So, and Prabhupada was giving very, very specific analogies which were actually like fully related to the subject. So this is how Srila Prabhupada wanted devotees to be perceived. Like, I'll give you an example. One man made a video footage of Harinam in Italy and posted it on his Facebook with his comment. But because this one man happened to be the Minister of Home Affairs of Italy from central government, that video clip was watched. I mean, at that time it was more than 500,000 views on Facebook. Probably now it's more than 1 million views. And so he just filmed Harinam very short, and behind the screen, his voice, he's saying that these Hare Krishnas are best people on earth. If I would have to take birth again, I want to become Hare Krishna. That's it. And so, do we want these kind of views? Do we want people to say like this all over the world? Yes? How many of you would like to hear everyone saying like this? This is what this analogy means. That yes, 4 regulative principles and 16 rounds every day, and this is just for starters. Then you go a little further. You have to wake up really early in the morning and, follow all the standards and read all Prabhupada books. Once you finish, go again and read them again and do all the services, and chanting should become 24 hours. And it's like no limit, right? How high we can have our standards. And some devotees might be even questioning, is there any end of it? How far can we go? And all the way to the spiritual world. And that's why not many people can afford that. It's very expensive to actually be seriously full practicing devotee. It takes a lot. It takes much more than money, right? And that's why so few people can actually afford practicing Krishna consciousness very seriously. That's why devotees are so valuable. Because how many people live in Silicon Valley and how many people practice Krishna consciousness? You can see the ratio, right? So devotees are extremely rare and extremely valuable people. Of course, that doesn't mean we should think, I am extremely rare and extremely valuable. But we should perceive other devotees like that and appreciate the devotees and understand only by the mercy of their association and encouragement and support, I can also practice, right? Krishna consciousness. That's the proper attitude. But, not everyone can practice, but we want people to have such a favorable attitude. And why this Minister of Home Affairs has such a favorable attitude? Because he's been cultivated by one very old and very serious devotee who is practicing since 78 very, very seriously. And he's doing very regular, he's involved in communications. He's cultivating that man. And that's why that man has such a favorable attitude. Yes, go ahead, Prabhu.
Raj, I was just thinking of the verse from Bhagavad Gita as you were quoting, giving an example of the Home Minister. Yad yad acharati shrestha tat tat ev taro janah sa yad pramanam kurute lokha tat anuvartate. So we need such...
Little closer microphone.
Yeah. So we need such leaders or people whose examples we can follow, and by getting the endorsement from the administrative class, definitely it helps in the larger society by setting a norm or, by opening hearts. I think that's why Tulsi Gabbard is also now running for president. She's a devotee. And in India, obviously, the environment is very favorable now with the re-election of Narendra Modi. And so, I mean, these are some examples.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, there is a lot of emphasis on book distribution, prasadam distribution, and harinams, as we know in our society. Because, yes, Prabhupada distributed his own books, Prabhupada distributed prasadam, Prabhupada chanted, and so we follow in his footsteps. We do all these things also very enthusiastically. But Prabhupada also was very, very, and very seriously focusing on communications. He demanded that devotees should bring him influential people, and he wanted to meet with these people on regular basis, leaders of our religious groups and political leaders. He was very, very focused on that. And do we do much of that? Do we do it as seriously as we do book distribution, prasadam distribution, and harinams? No. We know it that in some temples, I'm not sure about ISV, but in some places, in some temples, it actually does not even exist. That devotees make absolutely zero contact with, leaders of other faiths or with administrators or political leaders, unless and until it's like absolute necessity, you cannot go without it, like get permission for Ratha Yatra or get permission for festival or something, like you cannot go around it, so you have to go, okay, let's go to those demons and talk to them. So, yes, unfortunately, we do not make it a priority. And that's why, we're not really achieving what Prabhupada wanted us to achieve in the first purpose. Yes, Prabhu. Microphone, can you please pass it?
Могу задать вопрос на русском, а вы быстренько переведете потом на английский.
Okay, it's gonna be with translation. Yes, please.
Если взять историю, то мы видим, можно увидеть, как Бог там или Кришна, как назвать, если какая-то цивилизация заходит в тупик, если какая-то религиозная организация, если какие-то лидеры заходят в тупик, то они просто уничтожаются. Там Помпея, например, люди сидели за столами, и их просто закатило огнем извержения вулкана. Но при этом мы можем найти во французских музеях, до чего там, насколько пошла была там жизнь. Читали немножко, да? Там индейские...
понятно, да, Содом и Гоморра и так далее.
Да. Вот. И на основании этого можно сделать вывод, если какое-то знание сохранилось, если даже хотя бы какая-то часть сохранилась для нас, если какие-то организации сейчас популярны, это значит, что хотя бы 1%, может даже 1% от 1% чего-то важного в них есть. Вот. Поэтому, мне кажется, это и есть самый главный пункт, почему так важно вот эти вот контакты налаживать со внешним миром, а не замыкаться внутри, потому что иначе будем уничтожены тоже.
Спасибо. So yeah, he's saying that we can see historically that any traditions or cultures which have been degraded historically, like Sodom and Gomorrah in Bible or Pompeii city, they have been destroyed. And so in the same way, any, so-called religions or spiritual traditions who bring no value, they got disintegrated by time factor. But those who actually survived, they survived because they actually carry at least some value in it. And this is the reason why it is so important for us to connect with them, and I would even say work with them. Because this is also what Srila Prabhupada said very clearly. He met with one of the leaders, Christian leaders, and he said, let's work together. Let's do something to spread God consciousness all over the world. Yes, Prabhu. Microphone.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Maharaj, how do we develop the attitude of taking more and more risks to expand the Krishna consciousness movement? How do we become enthusiastic about taking more anxieties for the acharyas, Srila Prabhupada and our gurus?
Very good question. And I think we can see from Srila Prabhupada's example that yes, he took risks, and these were very substantial risks, at nearly the age of 70, crossing the ocean, actually few oceans, right? And going to the opposite side of the planet. I mean, India and America, probably the longest distance is between these two countries. And nearly dying on the way from heart attacks. So it was a big risk for him. But if we look at it, it was very well calculated risk, and it was based on that vision. And I heard Srila Radhanath Maharaj mentioning that, many of you know this episode from Prabhupada Lilamrita, how Prabhupada was sitting in a park and one man was asking, who are you? Why are you sitting here alone? And he said, I'm the leader of big spiritual movement with hundreds of centers and thousands of followers. And then the man said, where are they? Why are you sitting here alone? And he said, it's all there. Just time separates me, right? And many of you are aware of that. But there is another episode Radhanath Maharaj shared. He said, devotees have discovered an article in India, which was published around the time Srila Prabhupada left on the cargo ship to go to America. And he was interviewed prior to going to America. And the reporter was asking, Swamiji, why are you going to America? What are you going to do there? And Prabhupada said, I'm actually not just any regular Swami. I'm a leader of very big spiritual movement with hundreds of centers and thousands of followers. And when I will come to America, my followers will organize preaching tour around the country. And after I finish the country, I'll go internationally. And I'll travel the world and preach Krishna consciousness. And at that time, Prabhupada was not even in the country. He knew absolutely nobody. He never been there. What to speak of, hundreds of temples and thousands of followers. So why was he saying that? Because he had firm conviction that if this is the instruction of my spiritual master, and if this is the prediction of the Supreme Lord, 10,000 years of golden age, starting with Lord Chaitanya's descent, that's bound to happen. And so my spiritual master wants me to be instrumental in that, and I'm going for that. So he had that very clear vision, what he wanted to achieve. And so clear that he actually lived in that future. Right? He projected himself in that future. And because his conviction was so strong and his focus was so strong, his vision was so crystal clear, he could achieve that. Because in reality, it's like impossible, right? What he achieved and at what age he achieved. But this is one of his secrets. And we were talking with the devotees sometime, and I said, Srila Prabhupada showed such a powerful example that no one can find any excuse. Some people say, oh yes, that's good, spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world, taking serious responsibility for the mission, but I'm too old, or my health is not good. Srila Prabhupada was both old and his health was not perfect either, right? And he did that, he went ahead. And he achieved. So, yes, that from what I understand, that's the focus. Very crystal clear vision, which he could project to other people. It's actually very interesting. Recently, I listened to one Christian pastor who is very, very expert, and he tells about the principles of why certain movements or certain leaders fail or succeed, why some people become popular, some people become not popular. So he's just explaining principles. And he said that many times people think that the most important thing about a leader, any leader, is integrity, right? And anytime survey was taken, they always say that we want to see integrity in our leaders. We want to actually, keep their word. We want to follow up on what they're saying, etc., right? So integrity is number one priority. But he said, it's interestingly enough, people do appreciate integrity, but they don't follow integrity. There are so many people with integrity, and they're not popular. And whom people really follow, the leaders whom everyone follows, are those who have clarity of vision. Clear message, clear vision, clarity. This is what inspires people. And he said, I'll give horrible examples to show how clarity of vision inspires people even in the absence of integrity. And first example he gave was Adolf Hitler. But then he said, our present leader, that in America, right? Many people question his integrity, so why he was elected as opposed to, everybody else. And he says, because his message and his vision was crystal clear. It was so clear that practically everybody in this country and around the world knows by heart his, campaign motto, right? How many of you don't know Make America Great Again? Never heard of Make America Great Again. Crystal clear. And he said his primary opponent, Hillary Clinton, what was her election campaign motto? No. America for Hillary. What does it mean, America for Hillary? Means nothing, right? What's the vision? What's the clarity? It's very vague and definitely not inspiring. But Make America Great Again, yes. And so, yes, he says, if you have clear vision and clear message, people will follow automatically. What to speak if someone has clear message and clear vision and top level of integrity, right? That's Srila Prabhupada. But as we spoke, clear message and clear vision comes first. And Srila Prabhupada's vision was so crystal clear in 7 points. He expressed that in here and also earlier when he registered League of Devotees. All these purposes were there from the beginning. He had that vision very clear. And that's why he was so powerful. And so, if you want to be very enthusiastic and very successfully, you have to have very, very clear vision for yourself and for your service and for the mission. Anything else? Yes, Prabhu, microphone.
So you were asking the point that Prabhupada mentioned, whether it is true or false. I think you're alluding to, should we connect with the state and the government, and will that be of help? I think it's kind of obvious at this point, but the answer is true. So we have to connect at various levels. And the example that you gave about diamonds, that not everyone can buy it. That's the argument we hear very regularly within ISKCON. Unfortunately, in the last several weeks, I have been hearing somehow this question is burning within me. How come there is some restlessness within ISKCON with respect to what kind of preaching? So I'm very happy and grateful that you addressed this point, and you very nicely mentioned that from the diamond analogy we can understand that not everyone will be able to take up 16 rounds of chanting, 4 regulative principles, and start from there. That's just a beginning. But everyone appreciates diamonds and everyone knows about diamonds. That's a wonderful vision to have, and that keeps us going. And I also like the example that you gave, that Uttamadhikari will not only able to preach to everyone, but he'll also expertly be able to preach even to the demons and engage them.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that point also. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Shyam Jagannath Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, anyone else? Okay, so we've discussed theory. Now we can discuss know-how. What should we do, and how should we do it, and who is going to do it? Navinda Nirada Prabhu found a volunteer. Yes, Prabhu, microphone.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept one's full obeisances.
Dandavats.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Is it okay if one offers a very kind suggestion regarding Prabhu's question earlier?
Yes, please.
So this was heard some time ago regarding leadership, and it is a concept of build, break, build. So for example, if someone is constructing a house and everything is very nicely arranged, they have washrooms, kitchen, a nice backyard space. However, you notice there is no space for shoes in the front door. You may offer the suggestion as, hey, the structure layout is very nice. However, if there was maybe a shoe rack here at the front for visitors to place shoes with a nice sign that said, kindly place your shoes here, that could make the house better. So we offer compliment, constructive criticism, and then a potential benefit that comes resulting from that. It tends to, either the individual or group is more receptive to it, and one thing that may help is complimenting specifically and criticizing generally.
Mm-hmm.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Everybody knows what's the major difference between destructive and constructive criticism. Constructive criticism means you want improvement to such an extent that you're ready to help with it. And destructive means you don't want to take responsibility and you just, project your utopian views on the situation and people. You're just being utopian, right? That's destructive criticism. And Prabhupada said in one letter, that's why devotees, they quarrel and disagree with each other because they have all these utopian views. That they're not real, they're not living in real world. And it's very interesting how Srila Prabhupada responded to criticism. I've heard that not many devotees were bold enough to tell Srila Prabhupada about wrong things happening in this society. You know why? Because Srila Prabhupada would turn it around and would tell it, okay, you know that this is the problem, go and fix it. And so it happened a few times. And after that, devotees were thinking many times, how do we tell Srila Prabhupada about the problems so that it wouldn't backfire? But, it's natural that, if we see that something's lacking, something's missing, we should really be, willing to fix it to such an extent that we would, do it ourselves. But of course, in that sense, it's important not to be utopian as well, because many times, devotees are very enthusiastic, but then they do not really take into consideration time, place, circumstances. Like one example, in one country, I won't be telling which one, devotees purchased very nice land, and the idea was to make a farm, very nice, simple living, high thinking. Farm community is one of our purposes. And this land is pretty close to a big city. And so devotees got their houses there, but nobody works on the land. Everybody just goes to the city, works, and comes back. And so this is happening for quite a long time. And then one devotee comes, very enthusiastic, and he says, hey, what are you doing? You have so much land. You're not becoming self-sufficient, and you're not, taking advantage. This is what we should do. This is, all these things. And devotees listened to him, and they said, yeah, if you're so enthusiastic about it, why don't you do it? Here, have it. And this devotee took the challenge. He said, yes, I'll do that. Actually, he gathered few devotees. And actually, one reason was that, this land had tons of fruit trees. But because no one actually used those trees, they required some, I don't know exactly what they do, prune them or whatever, just to make them give nice fruits again. They were not giving nice fruits. And so this devotee brought few other devotees, and they worked very hard, and they fixed it all up, and so there was a harvest, and very nice fruits hanging from these trees, like peaches, apricots, pears, etc. And then this devotee said, here we go. I showed you what you can do here, so now you can collect all these fruits. And the devotees told him that we don't really have time to collect all the fruits. It's much cheaper for us just to buy those fruits in the shop and bring it back. And that devotee, he became so frustrated. He didn't even bother to collect those fruits himself. And then he left. And which is understandable also. So much work being put into it, and with no results, no one got inspired. And then, the land had to be utilized one way or the other, and so it's very prestigious area, and many neighbors have their horses. but not much land for grazing. So they leased that land out to the neighbors for the horses to graze. And so, of course, horses were very happy to eating, all these peaches and pears and apricots. At least someone benefited from that. So, but yeah, I mean, this is the example of someone very enthusiastic and ready to take the responsibility, but not really like taking into consideration the circumstances. And so, yes, then it also can result in frustration. All right, anyone else? Yes, Prabhu, microphone.
Hare Krishna. Just want to share one moment. I was hearing in a lecture of His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj. One devotee asked, it was like a Srimad Bhagavatam class, something like that. And one devotee asks, Maharaj, there are so many rules and regulations for devotees. Sometimes it gets so hectic. You have to remember about all the things. And, I even start writing down all the things just to keep on track. Like so many regulations, not just beyond four regulative principles, just so many different things. And so he asked, how do I keep track of the things? Is there main principle? And Maharaj gave a brilliant answer that I still remember. He just said that devotees actually should have to remember only two things. Is what's our business and how we're doing. And it was just such a brilliant answer, You just have to remain the main purpose and how are you doing. And all those additional, ways how to improve will come. Just to remember the main, what's our business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Govinda Prabhu.
But there is a verse which is actually a direct answer to this. I wonder why he didn't say that. It says that, satatam. No, so it's the purport. It means that you should always remember Lord Vishnu and never forget him, and all the other.
Smartavya satatam Vishnu.
Smartavya satatam Vishnu. Na vismartana jatuchet.
Yeah.
Sarva eva visheda. Etayo eva kinkara. So all the other rules and regulations are just servants of this. So that's the main rule.
Yeah. Prabhu, microphone.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, thank you for sharing the story of how a leader in Italy posted a video and so many people watched. So Maharaj, this, as you were emphasizing, it's important to reach out to leaders, and even Prabhupada emphasized so much on it. However, in some communities that activity may not even go on or may not be appreciated. So my question is, in general, we see that even amongst devotee communities, some devotees have a more conservative personality or mentality, and some have the mentality of trying out different things and thinking out of the box in Srila Prabhupada's service. So there are always these two different kinds of personalities, and that may lead to clashes in terms of what to try out in Prabhupada's service. So Maharaj, could you share some wisdom based on how to handle this and how to still push on the movement with enthusiasm? And
it might be a little bit heavy, but I would say that it's not conservative and liberal or whatever. It's the clash between two categories of devotees, narrow-minded and broad-minded. And Krishna consciousness is meant for broad-minded. Why? Because Bhagavatam 2.3.10 very clearly explains that akama, sarva kamava, moksha kama udarati, tivrena bhakti yogina yajeta purusham param. Let me see that some of you might be able to give us the translation. Okay, anyone? Microphone? 2-3-10. Navina Nirada Prabhu.
Whether one has no material desire, is full of material desires, or desires liberation, if he's a person of broader intelligence, he should by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality God.
Haribo. Yeah. And actually, yeah, this is the first thing Srila Prabhupada mentions in translation, right? A person who has broader intelligence. So, udaradhi means broad intelligence. And so, if someone doesn't have... Why broad intelligence is so important in relation to Krishna consciousness? Anyone has any idea? Is there any connection between broad intelligence or broad-mindedness and Krishna consciousness? Is it connected?
Well, according to Srila Prabhupada's 7 purposes, this Krishna consciousness movement is meant for everybody.
Haribol.
And everybody means it's a pretty broad, everybody's a pretty broad category of people, everybody. So if we're just trying to deal with one ethnic group or one subgroup, like we see many religious movements, they target according to caste, nationality, etc. Like you have a Baptist Chinese church, or, you know, for this or that type of language group. But everybody is very broad, so unless you have broad mind and broad intelligence, you cannot accommodate everybody. And at the same time, get something done, because there's always that you become so broad that you actually achieve nothing. It says if you want to make rain, don't try to boil the ocean. You have to kind of corner a niche market.
That's right.
And find out where you can really make a difference. And so if somebody says in marketing, everybody will buy this, then you know he's not going to achieve anything, because they won't. But still we should be open to everybody and ready to deal with everybody, but understanding that, you know, if only a few select people take to it, we should still not be disturbed, like the jewelry shop owner is not compromising his standards and his product because he's not insecure that his thing is not going to work. So we have to really know what is our strategy, how do we go about reaching everybody and still getting some results with somebody.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly. And we can understand why Srila Prabhupada speaks in the purport, in today's purport, what he speaks, because the leaders, the administrators of the society, they are connected to everybody. And so if you want to reach everybody, reach out to them. And then it becomes very broad.
I have a question, Maharaj. Oftentimes we hear ISKCON is a volunteer organization and we're just 50 years in the game, so why you expect so much? Why you put the bar so high? Why so much professionalism and so many rules? No one's getting paid, for the most part, at least in the West. And so, you know, just be happy with whatever happens. And it will take time. Religious movements take hundreds or thousands of years to grow. So just, you know, relax, do what you can, have a good time, not be stressed out. Then we see Prabhupada was very driven, not just because he saw his own timeline, but because he had a great sense of urgency to spread this movement, and he expected results. He said, double it. He said, you have to increase, you have to open this center, you have to do this. And it was a tall order. It was not easy for the devotees, from what we hear, to live up to his expectations. And nowadays, the mood is more, you know, just coast, go along, go to a festival, live a little bit the online life, post some stuff, use some stuff, and I'm not sure we're really fulfilling our objective and we're really doing justice to what Prabhupada expected us to do. Because he was both. He was very broad, but he was also very specific. And he knew what it took to actually get some traction. So maybe you can say something about where does that balance come in between broad-mindedness and actually achieving the objective and getting some results.
Thank you. Very nice comment and very nice question as well. And I'm sure Navina Nirada Prabhu is asking for everyone's benefit because he knows very well the answers to this question. I mean, in my personal experience, I was always inspired by this particular aspect of Krishna consciousness, first purpose, and all these points Srila Prabhupada makes in today's purport, and it's not the only place where he speaks about it. Importance of leaders in Krishna consciousness, because actually this movement is meant for leaders only. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshaya vidu. Very clearly Krishna tells whom this knowledge was originally meant for. That this knowledge was passed by the disciplic succession, and in this way it was understood by Raja Rishi, by saintly kings. So actually this is, and it's interesting that Krishna didn't speak Bhagavad Gita to some Brahmana, he spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, right? And so that's the importance of leaders in the society. And of course, the objection might be, but the present day leaders, they're really far from being Raja Rishi, right? So that doesn't apply. We should not deal with this because they're all demons. And only, because they wear a lot of hair on their head, you cannot see their horns. And because they have shoes, you cannot see their hooves, right? This kind of perception. And unfortunately, even today we have this kind of devotees who, demonize all the leadership on the planet without understanding the simple fact that if it happened to these people, if those personalities, they gain those positions, somehow or other, it was Krishna's sanction. And somehow or other, we should respect them as someone who got sanctioned by Krishna to be in that position. And we can see the examples in scriptures how devotees work with people in position and they respect people in position as Krishna's representatives. Especially it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, right, dealing with Nawab Hussain Shah, despite of he being very materialistic and meat-eater and, very demoniac. But they say, you're a representative of God. So this is how devotees treat people in power. And because, as Anuttama Prabhu tirelessly explains for so many years, these people, they have so much power that, he gives the example of Roman emperor, when the gladiators fight and one gladiator has defeated the other one and, puts the sword to his neck, and then he's looking at the emperor, what the emperor will say. And emperor, if he shows this, that means lift your sword and let him live. But if emperor shows like this, finish him, right? This is where it came from. Live or die. So this, with one movement of the thumb, they can, decide on someone's life. That kind of power is invested in them. Even today, so much power is invested in the leaders. And so, naturally, if you work with these people, just with little effort, they can make so many amazing things happen. And there are unlimited examples. My own little experience when I was responsible for one community in Russia. And we've tried our best to establish, very nice relationship with city administration. And the assistant mayor, somehow we managed to establish very good relationship with him, and he would come to, we would invite him to the festivals, etc. And he really liked it. He took prasadam, everything. He watched the cultural program, kirtans, etc. And we used that as a leverage, of course, get permission for Harinams, Ratha Yatra, this and that, whatever, right? He would say, okay, go ahead. I'll give you permission. But then, at some point, I took 7 Habits course. Probably many of you heard that, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. And so a couple of senior devotees were teaching that course. And it was a big revelation for me because so many things fully in line with our philosophy and practices were taught in that course. And then one of the things which was taught in that course, importance of mission. And it was explained that organizational mission should trickle down to personal mission statements of each member. Then it becomes really powerful. When each member has personal mission in line with organizational mission, then every single member of the organization carries full responsibility for everything what's going on in the organization. And he gave some, very powerful examples of that. And I was thinking, yeah, it is true, and we need to do that same thing. And when I came back to my temple, I told the devotees, look, we have our international mission, 7 purposes of ISKCON, but how that translates to our local situation. We should, come together and brainstorm and actually form mission of our temple based on 7 purposes of ISKCON. And so, yeah, we were spending, few weeks, few weekends on that. It was, for all the initiated devotees, it was compulsory. Then other devotees could also take part. And then we came up with very nice mission statement, very practical, spiritual festivals, etc., etc. And then I was thinking how that would sit with the city administration, our mission statement. Let us try it out, okay? I have more and more cups appearing on the table. Thank you. And then we went to that assistant mayor. And when he saw us, automatically, because every time we would come to him, we would come to ask him for something, right? And then he smiled and he said, okay, what can I do for you, right? And I told him, actually, this time we came with a different purpose. Actually, we are here to serve the interests of the city. We're not just here for ourselves. We want to benefit people. We want to help in overall benefit. And so we wanted to help you in your work. And he was like, what do you mean? How do you want to help me? And he laughed and he said, if tomorrow I'll send you to pick up trash, because there is a lot of that needed, would you go for it? And I told him, actually we're open for anything, but we have our specific mission, we have our specific purposes, and if you utilize us according to those, particular guidelines, we could do much better job. He said, what is it? And I gave him our mission. And then he read it. And he said, so what do you want me to do? I said, well, you can suggest how could we fit into your work in such a way that we could really make a difference. And he got a little scared. He said, do you want me to become a Hare Krishna? I said, not that quick. We just want, you know what's needed, so we just wanted to be engaged effectively, right? And then he started really surprising us. He said, well, you have this point about festivals, and when I come to your festivals, you really create nice atmosphere, very family, nice atmosphere, and I never saw that atmosphere at any other festivals. I think you should be part of every single city celebration. And we were like, wow. And we'll give you space, you can sell your things, you can do whatever. And then he said also this point about your books, book distribution. Yeah, I've read your books, they are very nice, but they are not affordable by everybody. I mean, many people could benefit from those books, but what about those people who don't have money? So let's think about sponsorship programs for your books. Let's think, how do we get funds so that you could give books out for free? And then he said, also your food is excellent. And I think we should give you time on the local TV so that you could conduct your cooking courses and teach people how to prepare this kind of food, etc. That just blew my mind. And then, because if they give this, they can open any doors for you. And why do you have to struggle to get little, whatever advantage if you can get everything from these people? You just need to cultivate nice relationships with them. That's all it takes. And then, he actually organized participation in the city day for us, and we were pretty central. Our stage was pretty much in the center of the whole celebration. And we've invited some professional devotees. They were doing, kirtan concert on the big stage. And people really enjoyed it. And then we actually pledged that we will prepare and distribute 3 gigantic cakes. Each cake was, I don't know, in pounds you measure in here, right? Each cake was at least 500 pounds. So, and we pledged 3 cakes. But we didn't have enough manpower to make 3 cakes. We only made 2, right? But we were thinking, in the course of all this happening, no one will really notice, that we done only 2 cakes. But one smart reporter took a notice of that. And then he published an article. He said, these Hare Krishnas, they promised us 3 big cakes for the celebration, but I've noticed they only gave us 2. But then he said, we don't mind, because even 2 gigantic cakes are not given out for free every day. So, this is what I thought, that it's better to fail in serving Krishna rather than succeed in something else, right? That even the failure is appreciated. And then, towards the evening, then the official part was over, but people were still there. And we've decided, okay, let's do Harinam, right? Let's just chant. So we started chanting, and everyone came around us, like huge crowd. And they were like really excited, never going anywhere. We're doing Harinam, it's like 1,000 people around us at least, huge crowd. And then it got really late, about 10 o'clock, so we were thinking, okay, now we're going home. And the people said, what's happening? Why you don't want to continue? And we said, yeah, it's a little late for us, we have to go home. We don't want you to go home, we want you to continue. Chant. I said, okay, we'll chant only if you will chant with us. And they said, how do we chant? We don't know the words. I said, okay, let's learn the words quickly. So I taught them the words. And so I made all of them to respond to chanting. And it was massive, 1,000 people chanting Hare Krishna, they knew people. And so it was very inspiring. So we've done another maybe 40 minutes or so of kirtan. And then I thought, okay, going home now. It's already close to 11. And then they said, no, we just got the taste. Keep chanting, and we'll chant with you. I said, okay, we will chant only if you dance also with us. They said, okay, we will dance. We'll chant and dance. And so, it's like massive Harinam. 1,000 people chanting and dancing for another hour. And then we got really exhausted, finished. And it was already like close to midnight. And so we said, we're monks, so we have to take early rest, so please excuse us, but we'll have to go home. And then someone says, one young girl says that, where are you going? We're coming with you. And I thought it's a joke. And I said, okay, you can come with us, no problem. We're going home, we're going to our ashram to take rest. And so we turned around, and with Harinam we went. And I was thinking, okay, they just stayed back. I looked behind, the whole 1,000 people were following us. And literally, we had to run as fast as we could to escape from them. So, it's just an example, if you get that kind of endorsement and support, you can get massive results with very little effort. And so that's why, because Srila Prabhupada knew that. This is why he's writing all these things. And he tried his best, right? Already in India, he tried so hard to connect with leaders. And when he came to America, he tried in the beginning also very hard. But because he had no followers, he was not established, so he was not really, he faced some difficulties in that, and so. But this was his initial idea: connect with leadership and spread Krishna consciousness through them and with them. Go in, Brahma. Yeah, and I hope that answer was all right. Thank you. Thank you for your question and comment. Is it?
Yeah, so he also wrote a lot of letters, like in Prabhupada Lilamrit, he writes so many letters to, I think, to Sarpalli Radhakrishnan or the president at that time, to actually help support this, and to appeal to the administration to actually give him resources for spreading Krishna consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
He did that too, right?
Yes. Yes, everyone knows how much effort he put in that particular direction. Yes.
So Maharaj, you were mentioning that in the beginning he tried, but he didn't succeed so well. But later on, as he gained momentum and popularity and devotees, did Srila Prabhupada try to connect with administrative class also?
There are a number of sad stories connected to that. One, of course, is described in Prabhupada Lilamrita, that it's very interesting how Prabhupada made so much effort. And this is in line with, his vision, because, he risked his life to go all the way to America. Why didn't he go to England? Because he knew America is the world power. So if I'll succeed in America, that's it. The whole world will be Krishna conscious. That's why he risked his life to go all the way to America. But when he came, he went to Butler and he struggled there. It's like horrible situation, like keeping products in mid-field fridge and staying in a house where people smoked in his face, while talking to him like that. And, people didn't even remove boots coming into his room, etc. He had to put up with all this. But then finally they gave him separate room, and he started becoming very popular. And then after he became popular in Butler, he dropped it all and went to New York. Completely counterintuitive, right? That risking life so much and then becoming successful in the place and then dropping it all and going to New York. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada didn't come for Butler, Pennsylvania. He came for the world, and he knew New York is the place. So he went there, and San Francisco, by the way, is also very, very influential on global scale. He went there, and he didn't go to Bronx, he didn't go to Queens or even Brooklyn. Where did he go? Manhattan. He could not afford it, but he found the option, Bowery, because Bowery is on the edge of Manhattan, but it's very cheap. Even today it's very cheap, what to speak of those. And so he could afford that, staying there. But at the first opportunity, he moved up to the East Village. And then he actually wrote a letter. There is a letter, he says, to, I think, one of his godbrothers, to whomever he addressed the letter, can't remember. But he says, we finally acquired central location in New York. It's very close to United Nations, and we have plans to work with the United Nations. And then he made contact with the United Nations, and he was invited to take part in Peace Vigil. So he came with the devotees, that's all, in Lilamrita. And they started kirtan, but then the organizer said, excuse me, if everyone will start praying out loud, it will not work. So that's why we've decided everyone makes silent prayer for peace in the world. And Prabhupada said, no problem. He told all the devotees, get your japa beads, and in your mind, chant Hare Krishna mantra. Let's sit together and silently chant japa. And they were sitting and doing that, and the organizer was so impressed. And he came back, he said, Swamiji, can we work with you? It was so wonderful, your participation. And Prabhupada became very enthusiastic. He said, please come to our center, and we'll treat you for lunch, etc. And Prabhupada made time. And then, actually, there were no devotees. Everyone was at work, I suppose. And the only two devotees who were available, one was Kirtanananda Swami, who stayed with Srila Prabhupada, and he helped him to cook. And another bhakta, he was a little bit disturbed in his mind, but he was the only one available, and Stanley, I think, was his name. And Prabhupada said, guard the door, make sure no one comes, because we expect this dignitary to come, this VIP person from United Nations. We are cooking for him, so make sure nobody else comes. And then when this man came, and Prabhupada's expecting to be informed, and that bhakta tells him, you're not allowed. And no matter how much man said, I have an appointment, Swamiji is waiting, can you please inform? He said, no, I cannot do that. Swamiji said, no one's allowed. They are waiting for someone important. He said, I am that important. He said, no, He said, don't let anyone in. So he said, can I wait? He said, yeah, sit and wait. And so he was sitting, and Prabhupada was waiting there. And so finally the man got disturbed, and he said, well, it should not be done like that. And so he went out, stormed out. And literally in a couple of minutes Prabhupada came back. He said, what happened? Where is that man? And that bhakta kept quiet. Anyone came? Yes, one man came. He was very adamant. He wanted to see you. How did he look like? And he described. He said, this is the man we were expecting. Why didn't you let him in? Silent. And then Prabhupada got really upset. So, this is what Lilamrita described. But there were many other episodes. I mean, one in France, my spiritual master told. In Paris, when Prabhupada came, and he told the devotees, where are the dignitaries? I want to see, influential people. And the devotees went out and they invited everyone to meet Srila Prabhupada. And they all came. And then Srila Prabhupada, spoke. They were sitting on chairs and disciples were sitting on the floor. And Prabhupada spoke, very nicely explained what Krishna consciousness is. And at the end, devotees brought big plate of fruit salad. And Prabhupada, just took one piece of fruit in a very aristocratic way, popped it in his mouth, and went out of the room for, restroom or something, just for a minute. As soon as the door closed behind Srila Prabhupada, all the disciples, and this plate with maha fruits, right? All the disciples just jumped from all sides on this maha plate, and this plate just went into the air with all the fruits, and they got scattered all over the floor, and devotees started fighting with each other, for these fruits on the floor. And literally in a minute, everything was over, and the empty plate was back on the table, and devotees were back in their positions, And all of this happened in the presence of all these dignitaries, right in front of them. And then Prabhupada comes back, and everyone sits as if nothing happened. Prabhupada comes back, takes his place, and he said, so what do you think about this great Krishna consciousness movement? So we can understand why Prabhupada, couldn't do much at the time. Because, there were many strange people. Someone says that in Prabhupada times where there were no problems in the movement. And so whoever says that probably have no idea what was really going on. Yeah, he had to put up with so many things and go against so many odds. Yes, Madhuri. Microphone.
Where was that again? That story you told about the politicians supporting you all and giving facility. Where was that?
Oh, the story I told?
Yeah.
From my experience? That was in Russia, the city called Chelyabinsk.
And is it still going on?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, devotees have.
That's very inspiring.
Temple, and they have regular celebrations. Yeah, that since we started doing these celebrations on city level, like one time there was some kind of police, what do you call it? Police kind of shielded some area, and no one was allowed to go through that area. Everyone had to take the tour with their car. But somehow we just went through the barrier and went straight. And police actually caught us, with our van. And it was like serious violation. We could go to jail for that. But when the policeman saw us in devotee dress with tilak, he said, "Oh, these are the guys who are doing city festivals, so let them go." We were practically as good as, city's representatives, above the law. Yeah, we had many advantages because of that contact. All right, so thank you all very much. So we'll finish here, but if anyone has any questions, comments, or if I can help you with anything or can do anything for you, I'll be very happy to do that. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. ISV Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. And we highly recommend that all of you come for tomorrow's Sunday feast program, because there will be very special surprise tomorrow for all of you.
Hare Krishna.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Siguru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadmaha. Banda Moe Sabadana Mate. Jahara prasade bhai ye bhavato riyo Jai. Krishna prapti hoy ja hoyte Guru mukha padma vakya chitete koriyo aikya Arana koriyo mane asa Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Utamagati Jai Prasade Pure Sarvasa Chaguran dilo de ran me Prabhu se Dive Gyan Rire Prakasito Prem Bhakti Jahoyte Avirya Vinashayate Vergaya Haracharito Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Aramajanara Bandhu Lokenad Lokera Jivana Prabhu Kordaya Deo More Parachaya Ebhayas Gushukri Bhuvana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Gayo Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyaresha Charine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Haribo! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Privrajikacharya Saraswati Srimati Rani Swami Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Satra Sadasi Simati Ranika Swami Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON Piri Fanchar Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Gaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sidvaita Giradhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Gaurana Ke Vrindavan Dhama Ke Mathura Dhama Ke Jagannath Puri Dhama Ke Jagannath Swami Ke Shri Mai Punavadip Dhama Ke Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ke Ganga Mainamai Ke Tulsi Bhakti Devi Ke Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Bhakti Subhushan Ke Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ke Transcendental Prasad Distribution Ke Sri Sri Radha Madhan Mohan Ke Sriman Mahaprabhu Ke Sri Lakshmi Nishingade Bhagavan Ke Nitai Gaur Premanande Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ke All glories to Samal devotees. All glories to Samal devotees. All glories to Samal devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
शरीरा अविद्याजाल जोड़ेन्द्रियता है काल जीवे फैले विषय सागोरे तार मध्य जीवायती लोभो मोय सुदुर्मति ताके जेटा कोठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ा धोया मोय कोरी बारे जीवा जाय सो प्रसादन दिलो भाय शयन अमृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे डाको श्री चैतन्य नीताय प्रेमे डाको श्री चैतन्य नीताय महाप्रसादे गोविंदे नाम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे स्वल्प पुण्यावतम राजन विश्वासो नैव जायते प्रसादे सर्व दुःखानां हान्यस्योपजायते प्रसन्न चेतसो याशु बुद्धि पर्यवतिष्ठते त्वय्युपभक्ता श्रद्धन्दा वासोलंकार चर्चिता उच्चिष्ट भोजनो दासा तव मायां जयमहि। श्रीमती महाप्रसाद की जय। Please come take prasadam.
Only book distribution spots.